Greenleaf launched its 138th deal this week, and that takes us to Greenville, South Carolina, where we're going to show you around this deal and complete some of our due diligence work. We came across this deal and really liked the combination of future cash flow and current value. The site has been vacant for 6 years, but a large manufacturing tenant has signed an 11-year lease with a 10-year extension and preparing to move their manufacturing processes to this site. This building is an 88,000 square foot former industrial site, has a 5-acre outdoor storage IOS site that's tied to it. Once it was the fairgrounds for the city here in the 1970s, and then around 2000, the plywood company came in and they operated here until 2020. The site has been unused or really vacant since then, mixed with some ownership changes and attempts to make something happen on the site. So the building can be really divided into 3 sections. We have the upfront area, which is the office location. It's a 2-story building that has its own bathrooms in that segment. The current tenant that's going in here is going to need to put around $400,000 to $450,000 into this office space to make it usable. And that's everything from lighting, flooring, painting, fixtures, to make it look like a modern office. The renderings that we have seen rip out the low ceilings and old carpet and replace with a modern, well-lit setting that showcases the steelwork throughout the walls. Always exciting. Oh,
there's some goodies.
Those are great.
Oh, ice pops.
And some cheese. You think this is...
That's good.
The second part is the 85,000 square foot warehouse that we're sitting in right now. So this is a big open span structure, and the tenant will have to do upgrades here to the power and the lighting and the HVAC systems to make it usable. It does have an existing operable sprinkler system, and that is a huge cost that, one, the tenant won't have to bear, and it is a lengthy process to get installed. So we're excited that is in place. So the building is really ready for them to put in the power they need, the HVAC they need, and then move their equipment in. To see exactly what their equipment needs were, we toured their Miami location at the end of June. Here we saw the fabrication process firsthand. We saw raw materials being delivered to the site and watched as 2 shifts fabricated, cut, and welded steel dumpsters together. This process involved numerous heavy lift equipments, cutting materials, and welding stations, all of which will have to be installed at the Greenville, South Carolina location. The third part of this asset is the outdoor storage or laydown yard. The site benefits from having a pass-through layout with a large powered access door on both sides. This allows raw materials to enter on one side of the asset, travel through the production facility, and then finish in the laydown yard, all on one site. The laydown yard is fenced, it's flat, it has in-place drainage, and importantly, access to both a rail line and easy in and out truck access that doesn't cross the delivery lines. This physical layout is ideal for running an efficient manufacturing process.
Vacant projects are really difficult to get the zoning that you need, to find a tenant eventually, to lease them, and pay all the commissions and improvements that are needed. So we were looking for an opportunity that had kind of a hybrid of both, where the tenant had already been procured, but maybe hadn't moved in yet, and maybe there was some value add opportunity going forward.
So now we're sitting in a situation where we have a seller that would like to exit. They've tried marketing and pitching the deal. That's where we come in. And as in a typical situation, we got second, maybe third place when we offered on this deal. The first buyers that were in place and under contract backed out because, as you can see, there is still a lot of work that has to be done on this site. There are still some unknowns. It is not a just clean buy, collect a check on day one. This is a deal that there is some heavy lifting that has to get done to make sure that everything goes smoothly, the tenant gets in, and the work is performed. So while some people see that as a risk, we see that as an opportunity to get a little bit of extra value in the purchase. That's why we were second place when we made offers on the deal, and now we have the opportunity to close it. So for us, this is an exciting situation where we get to come in and see the long-term cash flow. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We get through the value add work, which is something we've done a lot of before, except this time we don't have to pay for it. Deals always have ups and downs in the process of how they come together. This deal has taken over 6 years from when it went vacant with the plywood company now to having a tenant that is in place. What we really like about this deal from an investment standpoint is that we'll be able to pay distributions on the first quarter after ownership. It is a true triple net lease, so we know the consistency of those distributions is real. We have built in 3.5% rent escalations each year in the lease, and the TI dollars that are going to be spent on this location, those are not going into equipment or things that can get up and leave. Those are going into physically improving the office space that's here, physically improving the power, the ventilation systems. All of that value that's spent, we get to capture, and it stays with the asset. If you're interested in this deal and it gets you excited just like it does for us, follow along. We're going to have numerous updates as we kick off the investment process.